Hello, hello. I am Coach Corey Sartori. I help female entrepreneurs grow their business, achieve big goals, and attract their ideal client using social media marketing so they can save time and make more money. I am so excited for this masterclass. I am so thrilled that I get to share with you how to increase your productivity without feeling overwhelmed. This is something that many of you in this group have shared with me, that you feel overwhelmed within your business, within your life. You have a lot on your plate and you don't know how to get everything done. And so I'm really excited to share with you today how to increase your productivity without feeling overwhelmed. I have been coaching since 2016 and I have helped women from all walks of life. I have supported women CEOs, VPs, business owners with over 100 employees, and so much more figure out how to feel less overwhelmed. A lot of them have shared with me that they have a ton on their plate, but they don't know how to get everything done. And so I'm going to offer you some actions today that I have offered to the women that I've worked with, these CEOs, doctors, VPs, top sales agents in their field. And I'm going to share with you what I've offered them to help them create more balance and feel less overwhelmed in their business life and their work life and also in their personal life. And so I'm going to share with you some really amazing actions, tools, and ideas that I know if you choose to implement, it will help you get more done and not feel overwhelmed, that stress, that anxiety that comes along with being a female entrepreneur very often. I've been doing this for 7 years now, and that happens for me sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much on my plate. I have so much to do. But when I implement and use the strategies and ideas that I'm going to share with you today, I feel less overwhelmed. And so, like I shared, I've been doing this for the last 7 years, since 2016. And I know that what I teach and what I offer is so valuable for female entrepreneurs, for moms, for people that really want to achieve more in their life. So, a lot of the female entrepreneurs I've worked with share, like, I have these big goals, right? Like, I think as a female entrepreneur, you have big goals, you have big ideas, and sometimes they're so big and scary that you stop yourself because you're like, I don't know how to get there. And it's because we don't know how to break down a plan and create a plan. Very often, it's like, oh my gosh, I have this big 10-year goal or big 5-year goal or big 1-year goal, and I don't know how to get there, so I'm just not going to do anything. And so I know what I'm going to offer you today will help you be more productive and less overwhelmed, but also help you to achieve those big goals that you really want to achieve so you can have more success in your life and in your business. So let's dive in. So I'm going to share with you actions, things that you can tangibly do, things that you can implement immediately. And so if it feels good for you, I challenge you to maybe take notes. I always say, take notes, because there might be something that I share that really lands with you and you want to maybe write that down. You can always catch the replay as well, but these are actions. The things that I offer in my masterclasses are things that you can start doing immediately. And so what I'm going to offer you today are things that you can start doing immediately to help you feel less overwhelmed. And so the first thing that I want to share with you is planning. So very often when I start working with women, or, there's been moments where I've been working with like a CEO for a company and they have all these goals and they tell me, like, okay, I have all these goals. How am I going to make it happen? And it's really planning. You have to plan. The reason why people are feeling overwhelmed and stressed very often is because they're trying to keep everything in their mind. They're trying to remember every task they need to do, every activity they have that week. They don't actually write it down, or they might have it in their calendar, but they don't sit and reflect on it. It's like it's in their calendar and then it pops up and it's like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. It's like, because they're not taking time to plan and reflect. And so the first thing I want to offer you is take time every single Sunday to plan. So this is something I tell every single one of my clients to do, and it absolutely helps them become more productive and feel less overwhelmed. And so planning is powerful. And I want you to start on your Sunday, get clarity on the tasks that you really need to get done. And so what I do is I create a to-do list. You need to write down on a to-do list every single action that you need to take that week. So that includes meal prep, going to the grocery store, picking the kids up, going to work, like every single task that you need to get done, you need to write it down in a to-do list. And then something that I I offer my clients is Eisenhower strategy. So you can Google that Eisenhower strategy. It's something that Stephen Covey talks about in his book, 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. But it's a way to look at that to-do list and then decide, well, what is important and urgent? What is important but not urgent? What is not urgent but important? And then what is not urgent and not important? That's really like time wasters, like, scrolling through social media. So using Eisenhower strategy, so go ahead and Google that, but using that after you do your to-do list, like you can go through a number like, well, what is the most important thing that I need to get done this week? What is urgent? And then you're going to move that into your calendar. And so start by doing that. Start with your to-do list and then start moving those activities into your calendar. Okay. So that is the first thing, planning your week every Sunday. And like I said, down to everything, you need to plan, as a business owner, like for me, like I do my marketing, social media is how I market myself. I have to plan my social media. I have to plan meals for my family. I have to plan, when am I cleaning the house, right? Like all the activities. And so when I do this, it makes me realize, oh my gosh, I have a lot more time than I actually think I do. Like I have clients that have shared with me, I just don't have time. I don't have time. And it's because they're not planning. They're not being strategic with their time. They're not actually sitting down doing this planning on Sunday, which might take an hour, it might take 2 hours, but the time it gives you back during the week is really, really powerful. And so what I found is when people say, I don't have time, it's because they're not being planful. And so they're using that I don't have time as an excuse to feel overwhelmed and to feel anxious, and it doesn't serve them. It doesn't add value to their life. And so the first thing I want you to start doing, if you are not already doing it, is you need to start planning your week down to every single thing, every detail. And then you need to move those to-dos into your calendar. Have a calendar. It is so powerful. Like I have my phone, I have my written calendar, but it just helps me stay organized. It helps me feel less overwhelmed, right? So like I said, like a lot of times people are feeling overwhelmed because they're trying to keep all those to-dos, all those tasks in their mind, and they're not actually writing them down and creating an action plan. They're just trying to remember it. And then they're so stressed out. They don't sleep at night because they're thinking about all the things they have to do the next day rather than just writing it down. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to offer you to support you in being more productive and feeling less overwhelmed is start to wake up earlier. And I know there's some of you out there like saying, you've got to be kidding me. I don't want to get up earlier. I already stay up late doing whatever. But if you can get up earlier, you will get more time for yourself. I have a 5-year-old, so I like to get up before he does so I can do my morning routine, so I can have time for myself, so I can meditate, so I can read my vision, so I can do some things for myself. Because when I take the time to have a morning routine and, say my positive affirmations, read my goals for the month, read my vision, meditate, and just be present in the moment, I'm a better person throughout the day and I'm more productive. And so I'm not saying right now in this moment, okay, tomorrow you need to start waking up an hour earlier. But what I would like to offer you is maybe tomorrow you get up 5 minutes earlier than you did today. And then Friday you get up 10 minutes earlier. And then Monday you get up 15 minutes earlier, and then so on and so forth. If you can build on that time to start getting up earlier, it will be really, really valuable for you, because that is time for yourself. And even in that morning routine, even that time, I always say move your body. If you can move your body for 10 to 15 minutes, that also will help you get in the right mindset and make you feel good. Something else is that is when I do my daily to-do list, is when I wake up in the morning, I do my daily to-do list, and that helps me to, be successful during the day. And so if you can start getting up 5 minutes earlier starting tomorrow, then 10, then 15, then 20, and then just build on that until you can get up an hour earlier, this will help give you more time in your day so you can get down even those like tasks that you're like, oh my gosh, I just didn't get it done yesterday, or something you've been putting off. You can go ahead and get it done in that hour that you've been getting up a little bit earlier. And so this will really add value. I hear people often say to me like, well, I'm not a morning person. Well, guess what? I wasn't a morning person for many, many years. And that was just an excuse at the end of the day. You can be a morning person if you choose. It's a habit. It's a habit that you have to cultivate, a habit you have to create. Okay. So the next thing is create your to-do list every morning and time block. So like I said, in my morning routine, part of it is creating a to-do list. It's super simple. It can be something just like this. it's just, here's my checklist. Here's the things that I need to get done for the day. And then, right, it always feels good to check things off. Like nobody's mad about being like, slayed that, done. So making sure that you create a to-do list every morning and then time block. So here's the thing. Time blocking is super, super important because often, say, you're running your business and you sit down to do your emails and you're planning on doing them for 30 minutes. And then for some reason, 2 hours later, you're still doing them. That is what is causing you to feel overwhelmed as well. Like if you can say, okay, I'm going to do 45 minutes of emails and then you stop and you take a break and then you go on to the next activity, that is really helpful because you can always come back, right? Like emails are never going to stop. That is just a part of the world we live in now, the life, the time that we live in. And so if you can make sure that you time block those activities, right? Maybe you need to send calls for your business, make calls for your business, and you need to send emails. Time block every single activity. So I'm going to do this for 45 minutes. Then I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Those breaks will also help you stay energized and excited. When we're stuck in our office or stuck doing work and we don't get that minute to get up and go for a walk or get up and stretch or drink some water or get away from our desk, that starts to build the overwhelm. And so I definitely challenge you. You have to make it a priority to write on your to-do list your time block and stick to it. So another thing that I do when I'm time blocking is I will set a timer. So, in the morning, okay, I'm going to do emails for 45 minutes. In my phone, I set a 45-minute timer. That timer goes off. I get up from my desk or I finish what I'm doing, get up from my desk, take my 5-minute break. Maybe sometimes it's 2 or 3 minutes, but at least I'm taking a break, to go get out of my office, walk around. Now that it's spring, go outside, and just take a minute to be present in the moment. And then I can come back, set a new intention for my next activity and start diving in. And so time blocking is so valuable. So I worked with a client last year she's one of the top real estate agents in Salt Lake City. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have so much on my plate. I'm constantly, I have all the things that I have to do, emails, CRM, talking to clients, following up with clients. And so I challenged her to start doing this. And when she started to implement this into her daily activities, she soon started reaching out to me. She's like, oh my gosh, Corey, I am done with my work week by like Thursday afternoon, or I am done with my work days by 3 p.m. that I just have time to go enjoy my hot tub or go spend time with my husband. And she's still to this day, since she implements this, she is done with her work week as one of the top real estate agents in Salt Lake City by Friday afternoon, like noon, not like 3 p.m., like noon. She's done with her work week. And so it's because she has taken on these ideas and she time blocks every single day. She starts with her to-do list. She time blocks every activity. So if you do this, you will be more productive and less overwhelmed. And okay, so the next thing I'm going to share with you goes along with this is you must limit your interruptions. So it's super easy to be bopping through your emails and then your phone dings and it's a Facebook notification. And you pick up your phone and you sit there and you look at that. And then guess what? 15 minutes late have gone by because you've just been scrolling. So turn off your notifications. You need to limit interruptions. And that, if you work from home, a lot of times, yeah, it can be your phone dinging or the dogs wanting to go out or whatever, but also at the office. So if you work at an office, shut the door and put notes. So I had a woman that I was working with she was a VP of human resources for a really large apartment company. And that's what she kept sharing with me. She's like, well, there's constant interruptions. People constantly interrupt me. So I told her, you need to shut the door and then you can put a note on your door that says, I am unavailable from this time to this time, or says, I am unavailable. Can you please come back to me at this time, right? I'll be available to have a conversation at 1 p.m. It's okay to set those boundaries. Nobody's going to bust through the door and be like, what? You don't have time for me? That's not going to happen. And so it is 100% okay for you to set those boundaries, limiting those interruptions. Cause you got to think too, when you're in office and somebody comes in and they want to talk to you, they have a question for you, right? Here, I'm going to ask you a question. And then 10 minutes later, they're telling you what happened yesterday with their husband. it's not like setting you up for success and helping you be productive. And so it's really, really important to set those boundaries and limit those interruptions so you can get things done, so you can leave on time, so you can be done with your work on time. Like I said, like I have clients who share, well, I just don't have enough time. Well, it's because there's a lot of wasted time throughout the day where they could be spending time being intentional. And so that's what I teach them and support them with. And then the next thing that I want to share with you is pick 1 hour every other day to work on tasks you've been avoiding. So as female entrepreneurs, there's always those things in our business we don't want to do, because as a female entrepreneur, you are the business owner. You are the sales department, you are the marketing department, and everything in between. And so there's always those parts of our business where we're just like, ugh, I don't want to do that. And we put it off. Or, I think even as a homeowner, it's like, okay, well, I know I need to get this fixed, but I'm just going to put it off until the end of time. There are things that we put off that we could just easily do. And so I challenge you to pick 1 hour every other day to work on those tasks that you truly don't want to do. Those things that you've been avoiding, that you've been putting off, because once you get them done, you feel so accomplished. You feel less overwhelmed because it's off your plate and you're able to move forward. We all do it. There's all of those things that we just keep putting off. Oh, I'm going to make this doctor's appointment. Like, I just need to do it, right? I even think for my dogs right now, like I have to make them a vet appointment, and I have put it off for a week, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get them in for their yearly checkup. But it's like those things that you don't like love to do it. It's not your top priority, but you need to do it. You put it off and you put it off. So if you can every other day choose to spend an hour doing those things, right? Those can be on your to-do list. Put those on your to-do list and then just get it done. Check it off. And when you check it off, it feels so good to have it checked off and just done. That also helps you feel less overwhelmed. So if you want to be more productive, I challenge you to take on all of these actions that I have offered you. So again, I'm going to review them really quickly. So that first thing was to plan your week every single Sunday. I promise you have time for this. It will take an hour, maybe. It might take a little bit longer, but if you take time to plan your week, you will feel less overwhelmed, because trying to keep all of those actions, activities, and ideas in your brain will cause you to feel overwhelmed. Like it was a couple years ago, I was talking to my dad and he was telling me like, I just don't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night. And so I asked him, I'm like, are you trying to keep everything you need to get done just in your mind? You're not writing it down? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, Dad, just write it down. If you write it down, you'll be able to go to sleep. You're like 70. What are you doing? So it really does matter. That planning is so helpful, because not only does it help you sleep better, it helps you get all of those things out of your mind, and then you don't forget things and you're not worried, right? Then it also comes like the fear and the doubt and the worry with like not writing things down, because it's like, am I going to forget to do this? Yeah, you are. So just write it down. So that's the first thing, plan your week. The second thing was to start to wake up earlier. Start with 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and use this time for yourself, meditating, working out, journaling. What do you need to do for you to start the day in a positive mindset? Because when you start in a positive mindset, everything kind of flows together for the rest of the day. It helps you to feel less overwhelmed. That third thing was create your to-do list every single morning and then time block. This will help you be so productive and to get so many things done. Time blocking is so powerful. When people start doing this, they are blown away by how much they can get done in a 12-hour day. Then limit your interruptions. So turn off your notifications, put that note on your door. Please don't bother me. Something for me that I've had to learn because I work from home and my son is not quite in kindergarten. He's still in preschool. And like this week, the person that was watched him had the flu. And I was like, we're not having you go be with this person. And so I had to get creative. Like, how can I make it so my 5-year-old doesn't interrupt me? And so I had to get creative and, let him watch YouTube, even though I didn't want him to. But it helped him to not interrupt me so I could get those things done that I needed to get done. And so really limit those interruptions, because once you're distracted, you might be distracted for 30 minutes to an hour. And then the last thing was just pick 1 hour every other day so you can work on those tasks that you've been avoiding, those things that you don't want to do. Just getting these done and getting them off your plate will make you feel more productive and less overwhelmed. And so that is what I wanted to share with you today. If anybody has questions, you guys can go ahead quickly and like type it in the chat. I would love to answer anything that's coming up for you. If not, I do have 3 open spots for my coaching program. So I work with female entrepreneurs. I support them with their mindset, which is something that, I had a call with a client today, and her mindset is what holds her back. And so it's what holds a lot of female entrepreneurs back. And so this group is called Mindset Marketing and Manifestation, because that is what I help my clients with. I help them with their mindset, building confidence, letting go of limiting beliefs. I support them in marketing. Yes, Gracilia, please do it. I know it's so powerful. If you need support, go ahead and send me a DM and I'll cheer you on. But I support my clients with mindset. I support them with planning like we did today. A lot of the work that I do with my clients is goal setting, helping them get clarity on where they want to go. And then we set powerful goals to help them get there. And it is life changing when you start getting into action. When we do vision and goal work, like what transformation my clients have is crazy, because they start doing so many more things because they're committed to that vision and they know exactly what actions to take to help them get there. And so we do mindset work, vision and goal work. I teach them social media marketing without having to do reels. I know for some of us, like, we don't want to do reels. You can if you want, but I don't teach that because I know a lot of women feel overwhelmed with reels and all that technology. So I will teach you how to grow on social media and attract your ideal client without doing reels. And then I also will support you in manifesting. So manifesting is such a powerful thing. It's part of the vision and goal work we do. I consider myself a master manifester because I manifested an incredible business. I am pregnant now, 26 weeks with my little boy that the doctors told me I would never have. And I spent 6 months manifesting this little boy before I got pregnant. And here he is growing in my belly. And so I really love that I get to empower female entrepreneurs through my 6-month coaching program. So if you are serious about growth, if you are serious about making 2023 your best year yet, I would love to work with you. Go ahead and send me a DM with the word program to find out more. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I really love that I get to share this information with you ladies, and I get to hopefully empower you and guide you in taking on some new actions to help you grow in your personal life and in your business. I truly love being a coach. It is such a blessing that I get to do this for my job. And so thank you so much for being a part of my community. Thank you for being you. And I look forward to connecting soon. Have a great day.